Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Hey, docs, welcome to a special episode. We are adding an episode for you this week, and we are going to dive into why you should consider the 2025 Mastermind West cohort. We will provide you some information and some value in this episode. And I want to start out with why I think having a small group, high level mastermind is so important for chiropractors. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Stephen Covey and the famous book he wrote, Seven Traits of Highly Effective People. I believe that's the name. There's a section in that book that Covey talks about, which really resonated with me and what we've been able to create with the mastermind. And that is the fact that, in life, you're going to have people that are dependent, independent, and interdependent. I think we've kind of learned the flaws of being too dependent on someone or something or somebody. Uh, that can be a problem. In the chiropractic profession, what we see too much is an independence, and in some ways that is revered, and people, feel like I'm an independent person. But unfortunately, there's a lot of drawbacks with that if you're too independent. Obviously, you want to have a level of independence. You know where I'm going with that. See, if you have no independence, you're probably dependent on somebody or something, and that's a problem. But being too independent, and it was just related to the chiropractic profession. If you're left on that island, if you're a solo doc, if you don't have colleagues to really work together with growing your practice, you become too independent and you get left on an island. Really, the sweet spot for what successful people realize, and you can define success however you would like, but typically there's a lot of interdependence happening there. And that's what I've seen with the mastermind, where people are working together. They're not independent, they're not dependent on each other, but they're interdependent and they're working together. They're improving each other. They're realizing things about their practice and their business that could be better. They're hearing other colleagues that are doing great things share. And our mastermind is really a true mastermind. It's not about me. It's not about any one person. It's not a cult of personality. It's not about the guest presenters we bring in. They facilitate and it really helps set the tone for a particular weekend. But it's about each member, and each member provides a high level of value to that mastermind. And that's what we've cultivated there so that no one feels like they're on an island in the mastermind, and no one feels like they're either too good or not good enough. We've had folks in there with many years of experience and great reputations and phenomenal practices coming in with a beginner's mindset and learning from some of our younger docs that have great practices, but maybe only 10 years under their belt instead of 35, right? So it's been a pretty cool um, sight to see, honestly, in the two mastermind groups as far as how that has panned out. And what we try to do with our mastermind is set themes, right? We definitely do a lot of weekends and presenters on leadership, um, relationships, accountability, things like that, marketing, business, financials. This whole year in 2024, we've actually supplemented the in-person with 3 Zoom calls around financial awareness as a practice owner, really diving into that. Next year, it's going to be all about leadership as far as the supplemental Zoom calls. But in the West Mastermind, we've got a really good curriculum laid out for you, which I'll dive into in a second. But there's been a really big return on investment for many of our members, which has been really cool to see. We've also had a really big return on relationships. A lot of great friendships and collaborations have come from these masterminds, and that's been really, really impressive to see. And a couple of the interesting stats is we've got um, the first year we did the East group, which was 2022. Um, we have 10 of those original 14 members are still members now in 2024 and going into 2025. It is a year-to-year program, but they're seeing the ROI and the ROR, return on relationship, and they're joining. We had 9 new last year, and 7 of them are returning for this year, which is really cool. 19 of the 25 have been with us for more than 1 year in the mastermind. Again, they're coming back at their own volition because they're seeing that ROI and that return on relationship. Some of the other cool statistics, we did an anonymous survey. We do a lot of these anonymous surveys within our mastermind group to get even better. Again, it's a true mastermind, and a lot of people have provided feedback to make the experience and the learning even better. So now that we go into 2025, it's been cultivated not just by me, but by the group. And it's been pretty cool to see that. So we ran another recent anonymous survey, and in our mastermind, we've got a few people that are in that 1.5 to 2 million range of clinic. We've got one that's in the 1 to 1.5. We have 5 that are between 750 and a million. And then we have a couple that are even more than 2 million. And then we have a handful between the 500 and 1 million. So it's a high level group. We've got a few people that are in the 350 to 500 range, but are on the cusp of really breaking through, hiring associates, hiring teams, taking that next step. And it's been pretty cool. A few of our younger docs, I've heard from our older, like we've had 5 members, age 60 and older. And I would say the majority of our membership is in their 40s and 50s. And then we have a handful in their 30s. And I heard from some of the 60-year-olds how much they've learned from the 30-year-olds because of obviously the fresh outlook on things, the technology, and all of that. So the seasoned veterans are learning from the newer docs. Again, we don't have anybody in here that's like a recent graduate because typically there are requirements of your practice to get to a certain level. But we do have docs in their 30s. And they've been learning a lot. They've been providing a lot of great information for the older docs. So we've got a wide range of age. We've got very successful practices in there. We did a whole, question on kind of net worth, and we've got quite a few people that are, we got 7.5, 3.8. We've got 4, 2 million. We got a bunch of people that are really doing great things in practice and in life. And, it's not about making it about money, but when you put yourself in a room of people that are doing big things, it's going to help you grow. It might be a little uncomfortable at first. There is an investment to make in money, time in this mastermind, but the ROI has been there, and it pushes you to a different level. And it's kind of like when I made the plunge in 2013. When I joined Strategic Coach, that was my plunge that I'm asking some of you to take that next level, and it was unnerving for me at the time, but it really it just exponentially grew my practice, and we're starting to see that with some of the members in our mastermind group. They've already had great practices, but they're not resting on their laurels, and they are looking to continue to grow. And what I want to do is just take a second, and we're going to play a few testimonial clips from some of our members in the East group that have been in it for a little bit, and see what they are saying about the mastermind.
I'm Dr. Mark King from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Jeff Williams from Amarillo, Texas.
And I'm here in Florida doing the Dr. Kevin Christie Mastermind series. It gives you a chance to be around a bunch of smart people, and it gives you a chance to stop and think and analyze, to work on your practice a bit. So thanks to Dr. Kevin Christie for organizing this. I have a list of things that I want to analyze and check. And I like the idea with these other docs that are here. Like I said, they're super smart and they have very successful practices, and they just have an open mind to discuss and think about things, and everyone thinks about things just a little differently, and that really opens up some thinking in my brain about how to try to improve my practice and help other people improve theirs.
I own Keystone Integrated Medical, and I'm here for the MCM Mastermind weekend with Dr. Kevin Christie and the rest of the crew. We got 14 or 15 top chiropractors from around the nation, all coming here 4 times a year to help solve each other's issues and become better doctors, better clinic owners, better bosses, and pretty much better everything.
I realized after Mark King, who's been in practice as long as I have been alive, was talking so highly about learning so much. And if he can add 4 more travel weekends to his schedule and get value out of that after he's been in practice my whole life, like why would I miss out on the opportunity to learn so much? And that's not a huge investment compared to what you can get out of it. Having data and knowing what to do with it, I learned so much in the first weekend. I was legitimately pumped to be back here for the second weekend. I met more people than I knew, and everybody was really welcoming, and just recognizing that the thing that we have in common here is that we all want to serve our patients better. We all want to be better at running our practices. We all want to level up in some way. There's just so much information, and the ability to integrate even 10% of what you learn is going to level you up. And part of it is the content, and part of it is the conversation that you have with other people who are doing similar things differently. I think it's really cool to be in a room with people who practice completely differently than I do, who are still on the same sort of mission. So I think bringing some diversity of thought into the room is really helpful. And I think we can learn something from any person that we interact with. And I think there are so many people who are here that I'm really grateful to learn from that I would never have been introduced to outside of the mastermind.
I used this weekend to be around a bunch of people who understand parts of my world that most of the people in my life don't understand. And and that's, it's lonely being an entrepreneur. And so having the ability to bounce ideas off of other docs who have gotten to the same place that you're at but took a different path, and that way you can learn things from them. So for me, like I told Kevin, I love the speakers that he brings, but I come because of the people that are here. Because every single time I come, I get something that's valuable to implement at the clinic. Yeah. It's neat to be around so many people who are excelling and excelling in different areas. So it's motivating. Yeah.
Okay, so you could tell the people are getting a lot out of that. And I want to just dive into the 2025 Mastermind West details. Again, we have openings for the West, and we are bringing back I should say a few speakers from that have spoken to the East group. And we're going to roll right out of the gates with Dr. Mark King from MPI, and we're going to talk all things team leadership and practice growth strategies. That'll be in Park City, Utah on February 7th through 8th. And really, those that know Mark, he's amazing. Really has a lot of great advice. He did this talk to our East group in 2022, and it was one of the better weekends. It was amazing to understand leadership and how to really grow a practice ethically and with really good leadership. And so that'll be in Park City, Utah. Mark usually hangs out with us for the weekends, so you'd be able to really pick his brain from a business and leadership standpoint that you may not have had previously in your career. And then we're going to roll into Boise, Idaho on May 16th and 17th, and excited to have Dr. Holly Tucker with us talking about smart cash flow strategies. We really try to hammer in the understanding of financials, and there's very few better than Holly. She's got a great background with this, with the profit first, and she's able to apply that to the nuances of the chiropractic practice. And we're going to dive into all things cash flow strategies. That's in Boise, Idaho, May 16th and 17th. And really excited to have Holly to help us with our financials. Then we go to Whitefish, Montana, August 1st and 2nd. We're going to have some fun activities there as well. We've got Brett Winchester joining us, developing your it factor in practice. Again, many of you may have seen Brett speak on the clinical side of things, but maybe not have heard him talk about his practice management and really the business side of how impressive their practice is and what they've done to get there. And he did this talk to our group in 2023, and people were kind of blown away with the concepts and ideas of how to really develop the it factor in your practice. So excited to have him back in Whitefish, Montana. And then we're rolling into a unique um, little twist in 2025 that we're doing for the mastermind. We've typically had 4 meetings for the East, and then this year we had 4 meetings for the West. We're doing 3 meetings for the East, 3 for the West, and then we're combining for a fourth meeting. So both groups will be in New Orleans on October 24th and 25th. And this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have, it's more of a little bit of a summit, probably have 35, 40 people there, both East and West groups. And we're going to have the Great Game of Business. You can Google that if you'd like. Jack Stack wrote a book called The Great Game of Business, and it's a phenomenal understanding of how to run your small business. And it's a great framework. So we're bringing one of their facilitators in for that Friday morning to talk about the Great Game of Business. I'm really excited to have them on. I mean, they're just fundamentally, it's amazing what they've done for businesses, and to be able to bring them in to our mastermind to facilitate that is going to be very exciting. And we're going to follow that up that particular weekend with Jay Greenstein, and we're going to have him talk all things technology and AI, give a full new update. Again, it changes so much. So even if you've seen him speak this year on AI and how to apply it to your practice, by October of 2025, it's going to be a lot different. And then we'll round out the weekend with me speaking on marketing. And so we'll have a marketing aspect of that particular weekend. And, when we have these weekends, we have a guest facilitator and presenter on a topic, but then we have a lot of other topics we discuss as a mastermind. Typically, the structure is that the morning session on Friday is the lead presenter, and then that Friday afternoon, we workshop things as a group, like as an actual mastermind group, and work on things. We have certain things like hot seats, and we have each one teach ones where one of the members teaches something that they've learned that's helped their practice. The hot seat is where a member gets in front of the group and mentions a obstacle or opportunity, and the group helps them out with that. We have heads down and small group breakouts. We really work together on projects and different ideas. It's not, for instance, when we talk about, cash flow strategies that particular weekend, we will have other topics that the mastermind group will work through together. And that's something that I wanted to make sure that we understood, is that it's not just one topic that weekend. We dive into many, and then we have some fun. We build relationships. We have lunch together. We have dinner together that Friday night, covered by the MCM. We do usually a group activity, and try to also have opportunities where great conversations are happening outside of the meeting space. And that's been something that I've learned over the last few years from these groups, is that some of the conversations at a baseball game or at the hotel bar are what really helps flip a switch for someone to make that next step in their practice. And it's really cool to see that, right? There are some requirements to join our West Mastermind. It's on the landing page, which I'll give you here in a minute. Your clinic revenue does have to be a certain point. If you're getting really damn near close to that, that's great as well. You can reach out to me. If you've been a coaching client of ours for a period of time, you can qualify for that. But it's definitely a mastermind of clinic owners and their partners, or sometimes they do bring an associate as a partner on that. That might have partnership future with the practice. And so it is business owners. It is chiropractors that are already having a pretty successful practice. They're not trying to survive, I guess. They're doing well. They're just looking to take the next step and understand what that looks like. It is a high level mastermind. It is an investment. We do allow you to spread it over a year as far as the payments, so it's easier to digest, and we have all that information on the landing page. There's a lot of reasons why you can't make it. A lot of you are thinking to yourself, 4 weekends a year is hard, right? You're thinking to yourself, the travel aspect of it is difficult. Some of you look at it and it's $8,000 for the year, and you say that's a lot of money. But when you break it out, it's a very reasonable investment for what you're getting. And so a lot of you are going to have reasons why you can't make it. But a lot of the members that came up with the reasons why they had to make it have been very happy they found that reason why they do need to make it, and what that's done for their practice, ultimately for themselves, and then for their families in a lot of ways. And I, I'm not someone that is very hyperbolic when I speak, and I'm not very rah-rah and all that, but I have the utmost confidence in this mastermind and what it's done for people, that I really compel you to consider making that investment in yourself, kind of like I did in 2013 with Strategic Coach, or a lot of these members have made that, keep on coming back. And I compel you to read through the landing page, watch some of the testimonials, look at the details, reach out to me if you have any questions. But you can go to our website. Just go to modernchiropracticmarketing.com. You'll see a tab up there on Mastermind. You'll see a West Mastermind on there. Check that out. Reach out to us, and you won't regret it. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time-free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence-informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things, and we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.